career's taken you so many different places and so many different honors and awards, but can you think back to your decision to come to Florida State and kind of what led you here?
I mean, the most simple answer is Mike Martin. Growing up 2 hours north from here in South Georgia, I remember watching Florida State games from the time I was little, watching J.D. Drew hook balls over the short fence and in right field. When I got to come to some games in high school, I was hooked. I was hooked by the atmosphere, the intensity of the way that 11 coached, and was not let down by that when I got here. Saw right away how quickly he loves the game of baseball, and I greatly benefited because of that.
During your professional career, how much were you able to keep up with them as they went through their seasons?
Some years were easier than others. I mean, obviously being on the West Coast, the time difference makes it a little tough. But I was always, checking in with 11 a couple times a year, and then I was a fan. I was a fan when I was gone, and was hoping they'd make a run at Omaha every year, just like I will be, with this team and going forward.
Buster, just for moments and the specialness of today, just where does that rank for you? I guess just you've had so many moments, but a day like this to have your jersey retired.
Yeah, I mean it's a tremendous honor. It's hard to put into words. I mean, I mentioned coming to some games and watching it when I was in high school, and truly just wanted to spend time on the field and have a chance to compete. So if you would have told me as a 16, 17-year-old, that one day I'd have my jersey up there on the wall, I would have laughed at you. And I'll say this too. I mean, I feel like, which I know the field is named after him, but I think so highly of 11 that it almost doesn't feel right to me for my jersey to be up there next to his. Like, I feel like his should stand alone.
What do you credit Mike Martin, your time here for? I mean, your quick path through the minors, and obviously the success you had as a professional.
I think it's a mental toughness. I think that's what he brought to the table. It was he was passionate even in 97 degrees in fall practice. He was passionate about getting better, about teaching, about helping people understand the power of what their mind was and how it could help them through tough times. And it's some of those lessons that I took all the way through my big league career, and lessons now as a dad that I want to instill in my own children. That, a lot of times if you take your mind somewhere, your body's going to follow you, and sometimes that's a hard thing to understand as a young person. But through experience and different difficulties, you see that that's actually true.
We know you addressed the team a little while ago. What was it like looking at those guys and remembering that was you 15, 16, 17 years ago?
Doesn't seem like it was that long ago. It's funny. I mean, there's a lot of stuff's different, but a lot of stuff feels the same still. So it was definitely interesting seeing them sitting there when I was in their shoes. I mean, my main message to them was, as cliche as it is, I do believe your 2, 3, 4 years that you get to spend at this university, for me, are some of my best memories as a baseball player in my life. Not only just as a baseball player, but the time that you spend with your teammates away from the field. I mean, they become your best friends. And it's true, it's unique, right? Even in high school, you're not spending time away from the field with your teammates like you are in college. And in professional baseball, you're not spending time away from the field with your teammates. It's a really interesting sweet spot of becoming great friends that some are going to last for a lifetime, but also having the opportunity to go and compete for a championship. And I told them, I was like, man, you guys have such a cool opportunity to bring a championship back to this Seminole community, something that nobody's ever done before. And obviously you don't want to get too far ahead and you got to stay in the moment, but it's pretty cool that that's still out there on the table. I guess it's not cool, but we'd like for them to accomplish that.
I think you're part of the ownership now. What are some of the other things you have on the horizon now that you're not playing?
4 kids. Yeah, 4 kids are keeping us busy. I'm really enjoying that. I mean, I'm in the carpool lane a lot. I told my wife she's gonna have to pick me up a little bit. I'm kind of getting worn out in the carpool lane, but really just enjoying time with them. I'm on the board for the B Foundation as well. So my wife and I have raised money for pediatric cancer research for the last 6 or 7 years. So still doing that. We'll have an event in San Francisco in September, and we'll be at the Dick Vitale Gala here in May, which he raises a boatload of money for cancer research. So just that, those are the 3 things that are taking up most of my time.
How excited were you to bring your boys today and let them experience this?
My son?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really excited. I mean, Kristen and I, my wife, we were talking about that a couple of days ago. We started dating in high school, dated through college. So she spent a lot of time here as well. And just the opportunity to bring our 11-year-old twins, boy and girl twins here, and for them to see a place that is so dear in our hearts is really special.
The relationship you have with Giants fans was obviously incredible. But because of like your youth here, do you think is there something special about that relationship too, just the Florida State fans?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, it's you know, like I mentioned earlier, I try to watch games on TV as much as I can, and you always hear broadcasters talk about the fans when they're calling games here. I'll try to, when I talk out there on the field later, I'm going to try to give the animals of Section D a little bit of love.
Mike Martin Jr., how instrumental was he in your career, the move to catcher? Is that something that would happen if you would have gone to another school or in the minors at some point, and how important was that for you?
Yeah, very important. I mean, I think with Junior, what was so great for me is that he was a catcher himself. And so it was easy to, when I was going through the learning process, I had a guy that had, you know, gone through the same things that I had. And I really think he was ahead of the curve in a lot of ways. I remember probably 2006 fall, I guess it was, when we started to make the transition. And he would get me down in the cage and have the pitching machine going, and would put old baseballs in there on purpose because he wanted, you know, there to be variance in the pitch. My thumb took the brunt of that for a while. And he was also great about presentation of the glove, about presenting it well to the umpire. And I think we saw that at the major league level over the last, I don't know how long it's been, 5-7 years, has really come to the forefront. But it was stuff that he was teaching even back then.
We talked to Link the other day. He talked about, I think he was at ECU when you were coming up, and he tried to recruit you, didn't get too far. I guess, what kind of relationship did you have with him as a guy who came before you here at this program, and just your impressions of him leading the team here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting to know Link. I don't know him that well. I've spent a little bit of time on the phone with him, and everything. All my interactions have been great so far. Followed his coaching career a little bit, and then obviously what he did with Notre Dame. Everybody saw how impressive that team was. So excited to see what's in store for this program. I know I'm happy for him as a guy that is from here and played here. It's got to be a great feeling to be back home.
We got time for one more.
You mentioned the relationships you built with your teammates when you were here, but then your career took you to, I mean, obviously a lot of demands on you. Were you able to stay in touch with guys during all that?
Yeah, his son I stay in touch with. He stay in touch with Brian, Mark Hallberg, who was a roommate of mine, who's the third base coach for the Giants now. Yeah, there's a few guys for sure that you stay in touch with more than others. But I mean, as you mentioned, the reality is once you start a life and a family and kids, there's only so much time in the day. But regardless if you stay in touch with them or not, you still have those memories that you made, you know, as a 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir.